Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump administration.
Hi, 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show.
Right, welcome everybody to another live stream where we will analyze the price of Bitcoin, and as per the thumbnail, are we going up, are we going down, and could things get a little bit more boring here to the side, right? And I'm specifically saying to the side because it looks like Bitcoin could potentially still range sideways for a little bit longer before we see impulsive moves either to the downside or to the upside. Right, legends, remember to smash up that like button on your way in. Let me put some music on here. Right, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. This is where we do technical analysis. This is where I do education to empower you to be a successful trader, taking those trades with good risk management, taking profits, paying yourself, get in, get out, right? This is what we do here on the channel. Pure technical analysis, and we discuss the probabilities. And right, legends, welcome to another live stream. Let me say hi to the beautiful community. We need poly markets for how Dewald will greet us on the stream. Smash up the like button. Yes, Mr. Crypto Big Brains, thanks for joining. I've got Mr. Crypto Big Brains. Oh, Vanna here from the Legends Pro community as well. Thomas, welcome. Hugo, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Let's rock. However you pronounce your username. And then Paul, good morning. What is up, Mr. Junior in the house? Right, it looks like this software that I'm using to show the comments on the screen does not show the emojis properly, but I see the emojis here on the feed so welcome everyone. Hello, legends. Yes, welcome to another live stream. And smash up that like, Jarek from Legends Pro. Oh, okay, trading crypto, right? Sometimes people have different usernames for different accounts. So great to see you all here. Legends Pro community joining here in the live stream as well, where I have discussed some of the probabilities this morning, so you guys know potentially already exactly. The pro members have a really good idea what Dewald is going to discuss during his next live stream, because I share the alpha with them first. Well, I try to, okay? I try to share the alpha with them first, where we do daily technical analysis and share our knowledge as best as we possibly can. Hi Dewald, Goldie Crypto, welcome to the live stream. Parrot, glad you're on, Dewald. I was tired of Ran. right, okay. When SGS, don't start, right? Don't start. I need to focus. I need to focus on the technical analysis. I think we need to launch a meme coin called Ice Cream, right? Ice Cream 69. BTC gonna hit 400k. Can you draw out massive bull structure on March? Well, 𝗬𝗍𝘅𝗽𝗍, what I can do is I can show you my most bullish structure. I do have an insane bullish structure on Bitcoin, but there's a couple of things that needs to happen before that structure could potentially play out. Right, so I will share that structure with you today. I need to actually update it, see if it's still in play, if it's still intact. So I will definitely share with you a structure that could potentially take us, I don't know, 400k is a bit optimistic. I think $270,000 is a more realistic target for the most bullish structure that I have. Right, but I will definitely share that with you. Yeah, I like the Rand comment. This is much more informative. I know Rand likes to discuss fundamentals, what he's buying, what he's selling. He's got a new portfolio every week. Right. I mean, no hate, right? Only love. I have massive amounts of respect for Mr. Rand, the man. And I mean, he started in crypto eons ago already with his YouTube channel. So I don't have anything bad to say about him. Yes, there has been some negative things said about him and, you know, dumping on his communities and things like that. I have no comment, right? I'm not going to pick a side. I think he's a smart person. I think he's a great investor. I think he works hard. He has great work etiquette. So, I mean, much love to Rand. Rand, if you do watch the show, maybe you won't, right? No hard feelings, no disrespect. Right, we all do what we need to do. Dewald with the fire intro. Yes, Andy. Yes, it's an absolute fire intro. Everyone loves this intro. And there's another one coming, legends. There's another one coming.
Big move in Bitcoin then. In contrast to all the notes I wrote
Right.
pre-show,
Anyways, legends, let's get back to the serious stuff over here. Let me just put the music softer. Right, legends, let's discuss the high probable scenarios. Hi, Dewald. Okay, so I have now said hello to the community over here. 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗇, it was only a joke. I do get more info. Yeah, I listened to Ran, and 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍 show gained a lot of respect for Ran. Yes, okay. Is Ran in the intro asking to buy Bitcoin? Yeah, funny. He needs to watch my show, right? If Ran wants to learn technical analysis, he needs to watch my show. Ran is not a technical person, right? We all know that. He's a fundamental person. He's a great, economist, if I can put it that way. You know, he analyzes economy, market sentiment, the new upcoming meme coins. He's got a massive research team behind him. So, I mean, he basically has information prepared for him from a fundamental perspective, and he focuses on fundamentals. So I think Ran is a good person to watch from a fundamental perspective in terms of what's hot, what is the new narratives, those type of things. But anyways, right, Andy, I think 400 500k is coming. People are super bullish here on the show, right? Super bullish. Dewald, you should do some dance with the intro music, maybe. Yes, myself and my brother are actually discussing a couple of ideas. I do have a new intro song. I can play it for you guys, but it's not finished. But it sounds pretty cool already. But we want to do something special with it. I think I want to play a video, like a nice little introduction song with a video with myself. Inside the video, we'll see. We're working on that. Right, let's go. I'm sure Andy will definitely do a live stream today. Definitely do a live stream. Okay, cool. Legends, he might even go live during this session as well. Okay, sometimes myself and Andy can't go live during different times. Sometimes it overlaps, right? And we'll go live together. Cool, legends, let's dive into the technical analysis. Right, I sound like Finding Nemo. Loving the music video idea. Yes, Mr. Crypto Big Brains. I think it's going to take some work to put together. Really is going to take some work. It's quite boring. Listening to the intro song is great. I love the intro song. It's it's absolutely amazing. But then you just stare at the chart in my face while I'm drinking water. Right, it would be nice for a nice little video to play there in the background. Let's see. I first want to do, my 1,000 sit-ups every morning and get my six-pack in order, and then spray myself with water, my nice little sweat drops on my stomach where I do my washing on. Right, 𝗖𝗍𝗇, I only watch Andy and Dewald. I use Sheldon and Rand as filters, right? Yeah, let me not comment about Sheldon and some of the other people. I'll reserve my comment for when it's appropriate. Right, legends, let's get the show on the road and do some technical analysis over here. So yesterday, let's go on to, let's take this noise out the way. Let's go just do a little bit of a refresh in terms of what we discussed yesterday. Probabilities, can we go higher? Can we go lower? Whatever the case might be. Okay, legends, first thing I want to point out is, yes, we got the SFP from this low, and we spoke about this yesterday. Some of you were scared, sweaty fingers, you didn't get in, you missed the long year to the upside, and I can see that there is a lot of buying pressure kicking in here at the moment, hence the wicks continuously to the downside to stop people out, because I do see some local bearish CVD building up. I think people saw this liquidity grab. They saw the impulse here to the upside, and they are desperately trying to buy the higher low over here. Hence the bearish local CVD that keeps on kicking in, and hence we are seeing these wicks here to the downside. Right? I think people were waiting for this moment, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks here to the downside. It's holding the level, but it just keeps on wicking. It keeps on wicking, and you can see that there's massive buying pressure kicking in here at the moment. And yes, there's that chance that could start rock and rolling here to the upside. Okay, but I am not too convinced just as yet. I am not too convinced just as yet, and I will get to that in a moment, right, legends? Because there is still a bearish case scenario that could play out where we dip the liquidity again, maybe find support. You see, I have a new box over here. I will explain to you why I have that box. If for some reason Bitcoin decides to go and tap a nice little FIB level over there, when you take a FIB from the high to the low, it taps maybe the 382, the 50% Fibonacci level over here, and we do this, I want us to be prepared. I don't want us to be scared. There is a nice little long opportunity still to the downside. Okay, the one thing I do want to point out is that when I take a Fibonacci from the low, this low that we've made, to the high, and we just do a nice little FIB retracement for this entire structure that we have been in. This is an incredibly long range, and now we have made another lower high, which means the range is still continuing. Okay. The one concerning thing about this week, and I briefly touched on it yesterday, is that we did not tap the 786. Okay? For me to get extra confidence that a low could, with higher certainty that a low could be in, I like proper Fibonacci levels to be tapped. So I would not be surprised for price to still find downwards momentum. It does not even have to come to the box, and at SFPs, these lows again, it taps the 786 properly, and then it gets upwards momentum. So still, from a trading scenario perspective, I will still consider a swing failure pattern from the low. I got a couple of questions from people this morning saying, Dewald, what is a swing failure pattern? Okay, or a SFP, because I use acronyms here on the channel and some people don't understand all the acronyms, and for those of you that's been around for long, you know the acronyms. Okay, so I mean, yeah, Andy, I see, I also got stopped out twice already. So okay, I'm back in the trade. Let's see, right? I am exercising good risk management over here, but I got stopped out twice in this trade. If I go here onto the 5-minute time frame, right, let's switch on the daily level. Okay, now this is, okay, I can't remember, I entered this one, right? I literally entered it like a sniper. When I stopped below the low, we started moving up. I protected, because that's my style of trading, I protected my position, and I got stopped out. We got acceptance back above. I entered again with my stop below the low. We chop, and when we started getting the upwards momentum, I protected my position, and now again I got stopped out. Bam, again I got stopped out. So I mean, we get stopped out all the time, but I have not lost any money. Okay, only fees. I've only paid fees. I have not lost any money with being stopped out twice already. I did not take this attempt. I was preparing here for the live stream, getting some content ready, counting the waves, and making the thumbnail. So I did not get back into this trade over here where now it looks like we're moving down once again. And what I don't like to see is this high selling pressure kicking in here at the moment, right? We quickly want to see what is CVD doing here on the 3-minute time frame. Okay, we have at least some bullish CVD against this pivot over here, but yellow is bearish as hell. Yellow is absolutely bearish. Okay, it's not the best price action to get this choppiness here to the downside, right? After a couple of attempts, I just say, okay, well, let price do what it needs to do. I will find the next trading setup. I'm not going to keep on entering, re-entering. Usually when I get stopped out once, twice is fine. 3 times, okay, especially if I don't take a loss and I've protected my position and I get stopped out multiple times. I will re-enter the trades multiple times. But sometimes I just look at the price action. It's like, okay, it needs to show me where it wants to go, and then I'll make a next trading decision. Right, at the moment, it's very choppy, just stopping me out, stopping me out, stopping me out. But at least I have not lost any money, being stopped out twice already. Right, it is a good zone, but I can see that there's a lot of buying pressure. And I'm sure, Andy, if you're still in the live stream, there's just, I think there's a lot of people interested in this level. And, you know, that explains why, you know, it's just that liquidity hunt every single time, stopping out everyone. So a lot of buying pressure kicking in. You can see it from a CVD perspective as well. You know, I think people are looking at this structure like a beautiful impulse here to the upside, however you want to count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a beautiful impulsive structure. But, okay, and this is where I want to now dive into the little bit of bearish news where I said, well, we could potentially come down here. Right? What if this is an A wave? Because an A wave can also be a 5-wave structure. What if this, whatever is forming over here, is a B wave and a 3-wave structure? And a B wave can be a 5, 3, 5-wave structure. So you have 5 impulses, you have a 3-wave corrective structure, and 5 waves back to the downside. And you might be asking yourself, well, Dewald, why do you label this as an A? And why would you label this as a B, which is a corrective structure? Because the reason there's so much buying pressure kicking in here is because people believe that this is a 1. We're going to create a 2, and we are going to rock and roll here to the upside to go and create that 3, that third implosive wave here to the upside. So the one structure that I'm not sure if I discussed it yesterday. I'm sure I did, because I go through all the scenarios every single day. The one scenario that I am still keeping an eye on, let me just clean up the chart ever so slightly over here is, and I switch on this little scenario. Not that one. Not that one. Let's try again. Third time lucky. Fourth time lucky is this little scenario. What if? What if, okay, we have completed, finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After you complete a 5-wave structure in a contracting diagonal, you get an ABC correction. A, which is 5 waves, makes sense. And now we are busy with a B wave. And a B wave can be a zigzag, okay? A B wave has to be a 3-wave structure, okay? And one of the 3-wave structures is 5 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. And it can take the low again, which aligns with the 786, which we front run. We didn't tap the 786. And it also aligns with this B flat box that I have over here. Unfortunately, if this is a B wave that we are busy forming over here, B waves are notoriously difficult to trade because they have so many targets. Okay, so if I take a trend-based FIB, okay, because now we can go measure out the B wave, right? So let's take a trend-based FIB from the bottom of 5 to the top of A, drag it across, I reverse it. Okay, I just want to take some of this stuff out the way because it's making the chart look a little bit dirty. Right, so this little boxy, okay, is in between the most common flat B wave target. Okay, so let me just put it there. Right, there we go. Nice insight. 1.236 and 1.382. It's the most common flat structure, which means that your corrective B takes the low. And this is usually where it finds support most of the times. But even if you take a FIB from the low to the high, you have the 618, you have the 786, you have the 0.88, you have the 0.9, which is a flat target. Then you have the 1-to-1 extension, you have the 1.05, you have it just has so many targets where it can decide, okay, now I'm going to turn around and go and complete the C wave. And this is the wave that we want to trade, because these are the aggressive waves. These are the beautiful waves. It's really nice to get into this wave, in the right zone, so that you don't have to stress about, getting in over here and exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. So I'm not saying that this is the scenario, legends. All I'm saying is we need to be prepared. If price still falls down, Okay, maybe it comes back up when you take a fib from the high to the low over here. Maybe it goes and it hasn't tapped a proper fib level yet. So let me show you guys. If I go back here onto the smaller time frames and I look at this structure, okay, when I take a fib here from the high to the low, you can see that we have not tapped a proper fib level just as yet from a retracement perspective. We are still continuing the momentum to the downside. We are still making lower highs, lower lows, and right, we need to at least tap a proper fib level for a three-wave structure. Okay, you want to see a fib level tap, a proper fib level tap before we can get continuation to the downside. So as long as we are not tapping a proper fib level, the momentum can literally just continue, and right, then it's still not a three-wave structure. It's literally still one wave to the downside. Okay, and that is where I will be looking for potential shorting opportunities, especially if I see bearish CVD. Okay, so maybe we are going to get the bounce from where we are right now. Maybe we are going to make these people very happy. Okay, finally we're getting the momentum to the upside and I'm not getting stopped out again. Maybe it's, you know, it's now formed a little bit of a higher low over here, but there it also formed a higher low when we took it. So maybe it's now going to go up. We have to pay attention. If you get a swing failure pattern from the high, you tap the 0.382, there's a shorting opportunity. If you tap the 0.5 together with that little pivot, right, range high over there, together with the 50%, I will consider this as a shorting opportunity because you could be forming a three-wave structure and continue momentum to the downside, especially if there is bearish CVD forming against this pivot, maybe the high over there. If we move up here and there's bearish CVD building up, I will be looking aggressively for shorts over here, knowing that we can at least come and claim this low again. Not guaranteed that we can come and claim this low and we are going to create the flat. Not guaranteed because the damn B wave has so many targets. Right, so quickly just wanted to point that out and smash up the like for the education over here, legends. Okay, cool. That daily level is fighting for its life. Yes, I agree, Andy. That daily level, okay, is just holding on. It's just holding on. Price is chopping through it. But I have seen this price action before. Okay, I have seen this price action at a daily level before where it's chopping. It's not losing the level. And then there's that bullish case scenario as well. What if this is the low that is forming? What if this can like to be the low? What if this is an impulsive structure? And this is the corrective structure here to the downside. And it starts building impulses here, okay? It's definitely a possibility, legends. Like we discussed yesterday, it's not to say that this structure is the structure that's going to play out over here. Right. So let me take this out the way because there is the bullish case scenario. And I'm not convinced about the bullish case scenario, okay? I'll be honest, I'm not convinced at all about the bullish case scenario, where some people are looking at this structure. Okay, I can even take this out. I don't even need that. But some people are looking at this as a 1, 2, and we are going up for a third wave. The probabilities are incredibly low for this to be an impulsive structure. And that is why I said in my thumbnail that the range could potentially continue for much longer. For this to be a 1 and a 2, and we're going to get a 3, 4, 5 here to the upside, carries significantly low probability. Because this corrective structure has been so incredibly long in time, 11 times longer than the impulse. It's 11 times longer. Okay, so if this took 1 day, the corrective structure took 11 days to form this low over here. It increases the probabilities that this is an A, this is a B or a X. Okay, a B or a X, part of a corrective structure. This is a A. And this is most probably just going to be another corrective structure to the upside, which in turn increases the probabilities, okay? And this is where it's going to get boring. It increases the probabilities that we are going to keep on ranging for a little while longer, because this is not an impulsive structure. Well, there's a low probability for that to be an impulsive structure, because I think a lot of people looked. Let me just clean up the chart, take the point of controls out, daily levels. There's a lot of people that were speculating on this being the low, an end of the corrective structure for this entire range that we've been in. Okay, but now, in order to find upwards momentum and go and claim the all-time high again, you have to form a bullish structure to the upside. You have to form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC and continuation to the upside. The corrective structure is just taking way too long. So I'm saying that this entire structure is still part of the corrective structure. You're going to go up, you're going to go down, you're going to go up, you're going to go down, and you basically are going to continue the range. Okay, that's just what the probabilities are leaning towards at the moment. And if you are a type of person that struggles to trade the range, well, you know, this is really going to test your patience, because unfortunately, the market ranges for about 70 to 80% of the time, and it only trends for 30 to 20% of the time. And that is why it's important to develop a trading strategy that you can use inside of ranges. Because if you cannot trade a range, you are really going to struggle from a day trading perspective. Okay, especially if you rely on day trading money to pay the bills. Right, you have to learn to trade the ranges. Legends, and remember that $100, okay, first link down in the description, that $100 on weeks is still available, and it's only going to be here for a limited time only. $100 free money from weeks, and all you need to do is select the link down in the description to sign up to 30k sign up bonus. You get that $100 for free just by linking your email or your cell phone number to secure your account, and you get 50% discount on your trading fees. Right. And if you want another $100, you can deposit $200 into your features account, leave it there for 1 day, and you can get another $100. So you have $200 to trade with. So if you haven't taken advantage of this special offer here, it's not going to last forever. Okay, might be gone very soon, very soon. Right. Cool, legends. Let's go into some more comments. I just want to see what is the sentiment out there. Let's maybe start a poll. Let's do this. Start a poll. Let's see. I'm going to ask this question. Do you think that we take the high at 102 first, or the low at 91 first? Okay, let's do this poll quickly. Which comes first? And I'm going to say $102,000, 102K, or 91K. I just want to see what is the sentiment out there. Right, let's start the poll. Let's do this. Let me know what you guys think, right? And don't tell me what you think I want to hear. I want to know, what do you think? What do you think? You know, well, what is your sentiment? Do you feel bullish? Do you feel bearish? Right? Do you think the range is going to continue here for a little bit longer? Which number do you think will be hit first? Right. I think we weak high, then take the low. Okay. Yes, definitely a possibility. Most painful would be 102, then 91. I agree. Okay. And that's typically what market makers do, right? If they are planning to send price lower, it makes sense to first do a short squeeze to the upside, grab the liquidity, then go down. Because in that process, while price is going up, performing the short squeeze and stopping out all the shorts, it makes the bulls bullish. They enter with longs and put their stop losses below the lows. So it makes sense that if market makers wants to send the price to lower levels, it would make sense to go up first, then go down. Because here you make everyone incredibly bullish. They put their stop losses below the low, or below the low over there. right? There's loads of liquidity lying over here. So you go grab the liquidity. This liquidity piles up because they now think that we are back in a bull market. And then you basically clear, you reset the table. Okay. You stop them out, and then you continue back to the upside. Beautiful scenario. But let me know, legends, what does the poll say, right? 102K first. I would also, let me vote here as well. I also vote 102K first. Okay. Right. Cool. So the sentiment, 68%, 102K first. Yes, I do think that there's a chance to potentially go to 102K. But maybe I need to be that person with the bad news that says that, well, what if, okay, if we look at this structure, and you take a fib from the high to the lowest point that we created here, and finally we're getting the pump here to the upside. Okay, yeah, it's just been testing my patience, and now we are getting the pump here to the upside. So damn frustrating, right? Tried, got stopped out twice, and then now we're finally getting the pump here to the upside. I just want to see what is CBD doing. Okay, we smashed these highs. We had massive berry CVD, but I mean it already played out. And for now, it is neutral. So potentially the move can continue. There is this, legends, I just want to make it clear. There's definitely the possibility that we can now create a C wave. If this is an A and this is a B, and we are now going to create a C wave to the upside to go and claim the $102,000 area that everyone is thinking that we are going to claim. You want to see a 5-wave impulsive structure, because a C wave is a 5-wave structure. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Needs to come and claim the high. Okay? What also plays in the benefit of this scenario is that at least to come and claim these highs is the following. We have also, if I zoom into this little structure, if I take a Fibonacci from the high to the low, we have tapped the 0.88. Okay? Which decreases the probabilities to continue impulses to the downside. It increases probabilities to either continue the range or to come and take the highs, at least the highs, right? Because you've tapped the 0.88. Inside of a range, okay, this is one thing that I need to stress as well. Inside of a range, when you have a 0.88 tap, it's not guaranteed every time that you are going to come and claim the high immediately. Often what happens is you acknowledge the 0.88 tap, but price could still range for much longer before it claims that high, because you are inside of a range and its corrective structure targets. But at some point, you are going to claim the high. Okay. Because if I go back here onto the 12-hour time frame, let me show you a perfect example. Okay, do you guys remember this boring range over here? Okay, I'm sure everyone remembers this insane boring range. Look at how many 0.88 taps we had. There was a 0.88 tap. Okay, from that high to that low, there was a 0.88 tap. Okay, you guys see that? There was many. I think also from this high to the low, there was a 0.88 tap. Right? And look at how long the range. So these 0.88 taps over here increase the probabilities of taking the highs, but look at how long it took before price claimed the highs. So it does increase the probabilities to move in that direction and claim the highs. But when you are inside of a range, you don't have to do it immediately. In a trending market where you get massive continuation to the upside, okay? And I actually did a little bit of back testing this morning. I reversed the price action for like 12 months, 13 months, and I went and I back tested this. Inside of a trending market, okay, where price is trending to the upside. When you tap, when price moves up, it taps the 0.88, it increases the probabilities to almost immediately, within the same day or next day, to go and claim the high. And then it continues. You tap the 0.88, maybe price retraced a little bit and it claims the high. So in a trending market, the 0.88 is a very powerful tool to use to determine whether the price is going to continue in that momentum, because you have aggressive momentum behind it. There was also another example over here, right, where was that fall that we had here to the downside? Was it, okay, I need to go into smaller time frames. If I go here onto the 1 hour time frame, because I remember this as well. This. Do you guys remember this little structure? Every time, okay, we tap the 0.88, okay, we claimed the low. 0.88, we claimed the low. 0.88, we claimed the low. It bounces, 0.88, it claims the low. So here you had an aggressive trend to the downside. Every 0.88 tap over here played out and it continuously pushed the price to the downside. Okay, so I hope that explains it. That's basically what I wanted to highlight over here. But I am sure, let's see if I now take... If I go back here onto the 15-minute time frame, I just want to see where did we reject SFP from the high, like I've just explained when I started the live stream. Okay, SFP from the high. Oh, bam, right? Whoever took that short, because this is the first scenario that I discussed. Whoever took this short, well done. Stop above the high. Immediately when you start moving into profits, okay, you protect your position and you pay yourself, because now we're starting to hit support here to the downside. It has the chance to potentially move down lower. But I mean, this little move that it's already made is quite significant, okay? Because from a day trading perspective, look at this, right? You have your stop above the high. You enter like a sniper. And even where price is at the moment, you already have a 3 risk to reward. Pay yourself. You are making more money than your stop loss. Your positions should be protected. Okay? When I get a 3 risk to reward, I don't care where support is. I start taking profits. Right, you have now tapped a proper Fibonacci level. You SFP'd here from the highs. So whether you played the 0.382 as an SFP line or whether you SFP'd the highs over here, we have now at least tapped a proper Fibonacci level. So there's a chance that price could now continue to the downside, and now we have a 3-wave structure. I want a Fibonacci level to be tapped properly before I can say, okay, this is now potentially forming a 3-wave structure to the downside, because we have tapped a proper Fibonacci level. But as long as it was continuing, not tapping any retracement targets, then the momentum's just continuing. There's no 3-wave structure, it's just one momentum to the downside. Right. Cool, legends. Okay, and then also whoever got into this long, right? Maybe you SFP'd the lows, there by the daily level. Where's that daily level? Daily level. Let's go. Maybe, you had one last attempt over here. When you hit Fibonacci levels and when you hit highs, you need to take profits. Okay, remember what I explained over here. Do you guys remember in yesterday's live stream what I explained over here? We hit support, I entered the long, we hit resistance, I took profits. And when I saw the weakness, I exited my position. And I still made significant or decent amount of profits with that little small move over there, right? Because that's what we do as day traders. You can't open up a trade expecting to get massive momentum like you have now caught the trade. That is why you leave some of the position open, okay? But you need to take some profits to pay yourself so that if you get stopped out, you at least get stopped out with profits. When you hit support or resistance, if you are longing and you hit resistance, you have to pay yourself. You don't have to close your position. Maybe you take 50% profits and maybe it continues and you're like, okay, well, I still have 50% running over here, but I've at least already paid myself because this can happen. Okay. And I know that there's not a lot of people on YouTube that teaches people good risk management and teaches them how to take profits. a lot of people, they get the technical analysis correct. They start learning the technical analysis. It starts making sense. And then they start mastering the stop losses. Okay, I know exactly where to put my stop loss. But a lot of people still struggle to know where to take profits because there's that little greed monster that sits on their shoulders saying that, no, it's going to continue. No, it's going to continue. No, it's going to continue. And then it doesn't continue and you get stopped out and you get stopped out. So your risk management is phenomenal, but you're not making profits. So you're still bleeding out your account slowly but surely. I know because I went through that phase in my trading journey, is that my risk management, I started nailing my risk management, but I didn't take profits where I was supposed to take profits, thinking that price is going to go higher. I'm entering the trade. I'm only going to take profits when we hit the high, or I'm only going to take profits when we hit $100,000 or $99,000. And then you get stopped out. You get stopped out. You get stopped out. And before you know it, you have exercised good risk management, but you're not making profits. So you're bleeding out your account. It's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Right. I mean, for me, a successful trade over here is you play the long, you close your position. That's a successful trade. Even if price moves higher, you don't care. You look for the next trading setup. Now you have made profits. Very important. Right, legends. Something else that I wanted to share from a profit-taking perspective is, I know that this looks like a complete mess, but just pay attention to the two blocks over here, right? Inside of our Legends Pro community, the trading setups and the education that myself, Andy, and the coaches provide is profitable. The last 7 trades, 33%. The last 6 trades was 54% in profit. So if you have taken every single trade that we have provided from our coaches, Aditya, Aiden, Ryan, we've got Dylan in there, myself, Andy, right? If you've taken every single trade with good risk management, you'll be a profitable trader. Right, but it's not just about following the trades. You have to follow the education that goes behind the trades, because what if we stop giving trading setups? Are you still going to be profitable? You need to learn how and why we take these trades. Why do we take profits when we say TP1, TP2? Why do we put our stop losses where we put our stop losses? So you have, this enables you not just to trade with us to see what we are looking at, but it educates us so that you don't have to stay in the Legends community forever. You're going to reach a phase where you're like, okay, thanks for the education. Andy, Dewald, coaches, love you guys, but I am now successful. I'm going to leave the community, or maybe you stay because you just love the people there so much, because I do see that there's a lot of people that can trade like crazy maniacs, but they stay because of the community and, the friendships that they formed inside of the community. Right, there's no bullish CVD at the moment, so not a great sign, but I mean, momentum can still continue as long as we don't make bearish CVD. But the yellow one does concern me a little bit, okay? Yellow is a little bit concerning because if price continues to move up here, look at that pivot, okay? If price continues to move up here, look at how, yellow is very close in making bearish CVD. Very close in making bearish CVD. So, I mean, if it's going to start making bearish CVD, the target is the low, and then we could roll down. If it makes bearish CVD again, you roll down. Bearish CVD again, you roll down. And that is how the local CVD overrides larger time frame CVD. Right, let's go through some comments. I mean, I can see that there's nice green volume kicking in here at the moment. So, maybe the bulls have a chance. It just needs to hold the daily level. It is here on the 15-minute time frame. You can see that it's holding this level and there's only wicks to the downside. That is usually a sign of strength. Okay, but now we've tapped a proper fib level and we got a nice rejection to the downside. So this is a fight. As per the thumbnail, this is a fight between the bulls and the bears, right? Really a fight, but I do like that little pivot in this order block, okay? This little pivot for a short attempt at the 50% Fibonacci. So if price does now find strength here to the upside, pay attention to this level. So this is the level, and this is the level that I spoke about when I just started the live stream and we got the rejection to perfection. Okay, technical analysis do not lie, right? If you can do proper technical analysis and you can Master that little greed and fear monster that sits on your shoulder, and you can enter these trades with good risk management, and you can take profits where you're supposed to take profits. You can make insane gains. You're just scooping a little bit out of the market, a little bit by little bits and little bits. And by the end of the month, you're like, wow, I made 20 or 30% on my portfolio. It was just, you know, trade after trade after trade. I made a little bit, and it adds up. Okay, cool. Let's go through some comments. Dewald, at the local range high, we also have the range point of control, if I'm not mistaken. Which range high? Which time frame? Okay, are you talking about this entire consolidation? Or are you talking about the entire range that we've been in since November? Just need a little bit more detail, but let's go check it out, okay? Are you talking about this value area high? Dewald, at the local range high, we also have that point of control, if I'm not mistaken. And then let's switch on the point of controls. Okay. Definitely not this one, okay? Because I only have a point of control much further up. Range high at 96,800. 96,800? 96,800. Oh, this point of control. Oh, I mean, yes. Yeah, you're quite right. Here's a point of control where we're currently struggling to break through. Okay, but we have lost the point of control. So fair comment. I thought you spoke about the value area high over here. Right, you can see we are struggling by the point of control. So we kind of sandwiched between the daily level and the point of control. That's what, you know, that's the fight between the bulls and the bears. But if we can reclaim the point of control, if we can reclaim it properly, especially tapping that 0.618, I want to see us tap the 0.618. I'm going to say, okay, now the bulls have a chance to potentially go to higher levels and at least claim the highs over here. Maybe even come here to the value area high at $99,000. Right, there was someone asked a question. Okay, most bullish case scenario. Legends, let's have some fun. What is the most bullish case scenario that I have on Bitcoin? Because I see there are some bulls here in the comment section. Maybe not just 3825 are common targets. Yes, 50% are common. Yeah, 382, 50% are common targets for corrective structures. But right, if we tap the 0.618, I'm going to say, okay, maybe the bulls will step in and go claim those highs at $98,000. Right. The bigger range point of control. Well, the bigger range point of control, I have to go on to the 4 hour. Let's see where the bigger range point of control is. Okay. Now I just need to clean up the chart again. Right, so if I take the fixed range for this entire zone that we have been in, right, still trading below the point of control. Still trading, but I mean, we've just been chopping. This point of control is not necessarily an SFP line. Okay, I won't use this as an SFP to make longing and shorting decisions right now because of the choppiness through the level. The reason the point of control is here is because price is chopping through the level, and this is where the most amount of volume is traded at the moment. So we are therefore still ranging. We need to leave the range before we can start talking about, you know, continuation to either the downside or continuation to continue the bull market here to the upside. But we are still range bound, and this choppiness here in the middle is why we have the point of control in the first place, because during this entire range, this is where the most choppiness took place and where the most amount of volume was traded. So you can see that it's not really providing support or resistance at the moment. Okay, we've just been chopping through that level. I do like the naked point of controls on the daily time frame. So if I do this and I go and switch on all my point of controls, I do have them marked out. I just want to see if I maybe missed anything. It does take a while to load up. And then we can go and look at the most bullish structure. Okay, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to this point of control because it's still busy forming with this candle. Okay, so that's today. So tomorrow I will pay attention to this point of control. But the only naked point of control that we have available to us is this one. That's the only one. Okay, and that point of control has confluence. Must probably be with the value. It's above the value area high. Okay. There's no point of. I just want to see what I have marked out. Yes, I have one slightly higher, and I have a lot to the downside. But I mean, that's basically it, right? That's the only naked point of control that I have over here. Okay, now, legends, let me switch off everything. I need to clean up the chart to go and show you my most bullish case scenario. Let me take the brushes here out the way and zoom out, right? Let's zoom out. Oh, I need to take all these things out the way. There we go. Put that in my today folder. Just keep everything nice and tidy. And let's go. Right, so you've asked for it. There's some bulls here in the comment section. You've asked for it to say that, you know, everyone is looking. Okay, let me see if I can still find it over here. Macro 2, is it this one? Okay, everyone, this is why everyone is calling for a bear market, right? We have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. And now we're going to fall down. Okay, but you have to remember, after a 5-wave impulsive structure, you typically get a B, C. You make a higher low, maybe we find support over here, and then we continue back to the upside. But I mean, that could potentially be a brutal market that could last for 13 to 12 months, which is valid for a bear market. And this is why some people are calling for the end of the bull market over here. But yesterday, I spent quite some time. If you haven't seen yesterday's live stream, go check out yesterday's live stream where I discuss why potentially we have not made the final high to the upside. So this is in essence the bearish structure from an Elliott wave perspective. We finished and we are going to go into a bear market that's going to last at least a year. Maybe we find support here, or maybe we find support here, right? When you take a fib from the low to the high, you look at the 50%, 618, 786 levels. You basically want to find support in this zone where you now formed a 1. You go back for a 2, and then you have a third explosive wave here to the upside, which is going to be larger than this move here to the upside. So it's actually quite bullish in the long term. After we have gone into a bear market, it's going to be quite bullish for Bitcoin, because once you complete a 1 and you have a 2, that third wave is larger than this structure. So I think the next bull market is going to be amazing, better than this one. But okay, now let me show you the most bullish case scenario. Maybe we get that super cycle. I see some people are calling for a super cycle. Do you guys know what a super cycle is? Well, here it is. I need to go onto the log scale for this one. Right, this is what's referred to as a super cycle. Okay, where the most bullish case scenario that I have over here, and I have still plotted the levels conservatively because they can still rampage more to the upside. So I saw someone calling for $400,000, $500,000. Okay, it's a possibility with this structure, but this is the most bullish structure that we have. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we are now still in the making of this little third wave over here. Okay, so yes, I need to move these things ever so slightly. I need to move them because the structure is taking long, right? This is the most bullish case scenario, and I will explain the probabilities in a moment. You have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And this is why I have a target at round about, let's call it $270,000. This third wave can still get very punchy to the upside because, as we all know, okay, third waves love 1.618 targets. This third wave can rampage to the upside. That could potentially bring us to that $500,000 or $400,000 area that you have been speaking about, because we don't know how high this third wave can go. All we do know for certain is that they love 618 targets. It can be the 1.618, it can be the 2.618, 3.618. We all know this third wave can get really explosive. And if we do get an explosive third wave here to the upside, which is busy forming still, all of this will just move up. I will just move all of this up over here. Okay. So this is the most bullish case scenario that I have. The problem, okay, let's discuss the problem that I see here at the moment, is that if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is now forming the third wave here to the upside, you want to see volume increasing, and volume is decreasing at the moment. And that is what's lowering the probability for this scenario. So it is a scenario, it could definitely play out, but you want to see in a third wave the most amount of volume. You want to see explosive volume to the upside. This is where retail needs to jump in. This is where the euphoria has to jump in. This is where people start buying pixelated pictures of rocks for $200 million again. Okay, volume needs to start increasing drastically for this scenario to gain probabilities. And at the moment, volume is decreasing. And this is why I never speak about this scenario, because I don't see volume increasing. So for me, for now, this scenario can play out, but until volume starts kicking in and until we see some aggressive momentum here to the upside, it carries lower probability. Because if price had to start smashing here to the upside, you know, past $150,000, $200,000, guess what? You are still going to get, okay, then it opens up the door to say, and volume starts increasing. Guess what? You're still going to get a 4545. You're still expecting a lot of upwards momentum. Right, so this is the most bullish case scenario at the moment, and for now, it doesn't carry high probability based on what is happening over here and the volume. Okay, you want third waves to be very explosive. You want them to rampage to the upside. You know, they need to look like that. They need to like they just continue. Small little pullbacks, small little pullback, small little pullback. That's a proper third wave. And I'm not seeing that here at the moment. Okay. Hope that makes sense. So based on this structure that I've shown before we started, okay, and based on my live stream yesterday where I analyzed this little structure and the probabilities of us still making a high, I think this structure still carries, for now, higher probability, and I have a fifth wave target at $128,000. So what I'm basically trying to say is, based on the local price action that I see over here, I think we still have a chance for the fifth wave to end over there. And then it is done. Right. Smash up the like for the education. And let's go through some more comments. Doop, doop, doop. Right. Hello, Dewald. Watching you and Andy at the same time. Did you ever figure out... Right, I'll let you guys read that. I'm not going to say it out loud, right? Did you ever figure out? No, I think we need to launch our own meme coin, and then we can give it a nice creative name and add 69 to it, right? This is next level knowledge. Don't forget to like Legends. Yes, smash up the like over here, and expect another several months of chop. Yes, I'm also still expecting at least, where are we now? We're now in mid-Feb. I'm still expecting chop until March, April. Okay, let's say the longest. I'm still expecting chop until April. What I want to do is zoom into this local structure. Let's see from a timing perspective where that ends up. Okay, you guys remember I discussed this scenario yesterday, but what I didn't look at is time. I want to see if this scenario had to play out to perfection and we get exactly the scenario that I've painted here with my Picasso drawing. If we still continue, okay, right, you're looking at the end of this month. But now the thing is, this can still extend. This can still extend, right? This can still extend up until March. I wouldn't, yeah, I mean, if you're going to go into April, it's becoming too long. You want this fourth wave to start finding its feet over here. So from a timing perspective, let's do this. Let's measure how long the second wave took over here. And then we put it there on top of number 5 and see where we are. Okay, so the 1-to-1 extension is over here at 18 February. This is where the 1-to-1 extension is, which basically means that your fourth wave is now the same length as your second wave. Preferably, your fourth wave is a little bit longer and even twice as long as your second wave. So if we are going to get a fourth wave that ends over there, then we're looking at 20 March, right? But I mean, it can extend even up until the 4 extension. It just becomes a little bit more rare, but the maximum target you want to see here is 18 April. That's the maximum target you want to see, but then you can see it's starting to get overextended. You know, it doesn't look pretty anymore, because Elliott wave theory also teaches about the look of a chart. It needs to look in proportion, okay? And for the chart to still look in proportion, you want the low to be inside of this zone. Between 19 Feb and 20 March, this is where, if we are still going to make a low here to the downside, that is where you would like to see the low made, inside of this zone. Okay? Inside of this zone, where we potentially still going to hit $85,000, or, okay, remember, a fourth wave is not necessarily the lowest point. This fourth wave can be here by the 0.236 as well. It does not have to come down to the 382 or the 50%. A fourth wave target is also the 0.236, is just more rare. So what if this range continues and maybe we claim, or we don't claim this low, and we don't claim this low. We literally, those lows stays intact. And all that does is the consolidation continues, and then we've, you know, finally we start getting impulses back to the upside. We have tapped the 0.236 already. I just want to see if I took it from the, yes. Okay, so you take the fib from number 2 to the high. We have tapped the 0.236 already, which is a minimum requirement for a fourth wave. The most common requirement is obviously over here. Right, but I need to go, wait, I'm on the wrong scale. Let's do this again. Sorry, legends, I was on the wrong scale over there. I was like, yeah, my box is in the wrong place. We have tapped, yeah, it's still the same scenario. We have tapped the 0.236. We have not tapped the 0.382. Okay, so what I personally would like to see is for the fourth wave to at least tap the 0.382. I would really like to see this. Okay, I can even make the box a little bit smaller, right? That is what I would like to see. I would like to see the price claim this low. Why, you may ask? Why do you want price to claim that low? Okay, because of the 0.88 tap. When you zoom into that structure, and I take a Fibonacci from the low to the high, we have tapped the 0.88, which increases the probabilities that we're going to come take the low. That low did not tap the 0.382. And like I said, for impulses to continue to the upside, you want a proper fib level to be tapped. Yes, we have tapped the 0.236, but it's a rare target. I want a more common minimum target to be tapped. So it would be nice, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me as well. What if price ranges in here? Maybe this is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It makes an ABC here to the downside. It rejects here by the trend, and it comes in and it smashes that 382 to perfection, where we get the bounce and we start making impulses back to the upside. Claim the lows. You know, the probability plays out, and then because of these 0.88 taps, we also go back up and we play out the probabilities of the 0.88 taps that we have here in the local structure on the smaller time frames. We complete the fifth wave, maybe we go a little bit higher to that target that I have, $127,000. Then we can start talking about a bear market. Okay, then we can start talking about a bear market. But this structure, like I explained yesterday, is not an impulsive structure to the downside. The structure looks awfully corrective. And sometimes when something smells corrective, it looks corrective, it counts corrective, then maybe it's a corrective structure. It's not a beautiful impulsive structure where people are calling for the top and we are starting a bear market to the downside. I still think that there's a higher chance, okay, from a technical analysis perspective, to still at least make one more high before we can start talking about a bear market. At least one more high. And right, that fifth wave can get punchy to the upside. It doesn't have to stop at $127,000. It can go to 130, it can go to 140. I would say the maximum target that I think we're going to hit this bull cycle, and maybe I will cover it tomorrow in my live stream. The maximum target that I think that we are going to achieve for this bull cycle. So maybe, take a snippet of this live stream, make a meme, post it on Twitter. Dewald said, right? I think is $170,000. Maybe 172 if I have to be very specific. I don't think the bull market, if we do get a rampage here to the upside and we go further than this fifth wave, I think that will be the maximum target for this bull cycle. I don't see us going higher from a technical perspective unless that 112 combo that I've shown everyone, if there's massive volume starting to kick in, more volume that we've seen today during this entire bull cycle, I'm going to say, okay, well, stuff the 170. I think we might even go to 300, 400, 500. But there's we need to take it step by step. Based on my calculations, okay, I'm not sure if I've ever shown you guys my calculations. It's me attempting with math was not great, but I mean, I got to the number. I'm expecting $172,000, but I will go through that tomorrow in my live stream. Why 172 is a highly likely target, where the maximum target, was this could also be your target, okay? But I'm saying my maximum target is over here. My realistic target is over here. And I don't want to talk about any price action above this level until I see massive volume starting to kick in. Because at the moment, volume is decreasing. Right, legends, smash up that like button for the education, for the analysis. And remember, on weeks, if you have not taken advantage of this deal, legends, on weeks, right? First link down in the description. $100 for free. All you need to do is link your email or your cell phone number. 30k sign up bonus as you trade. Money gets airdropped into your account. There's the $100 free. You also get 50% discount on your fees. You have to pay over $9,000. Okay, you have to buy WXT tokens, and the more WXT tokens you have, it brings down your trading fees. In order to get this discount on your trading fees, you have to buy over $9,000 worth of WXT tokens. You get it by selecting the link down in the description and signing up. You also get that $100. And then remember, if you also transfer $200 into your futures account, you don't even have to trade. You leave it there for one day. They will give you an additional $100. So you'll have $200 to trade with. If you do want to go through the identity verification, you'll get another $20. So take advantage of this deal. I'm telling you guys now, it's not going to last forever, right? If you want some free money to trade with, maybe to test out your skills, or maybe to do some crazy trades, some high risk trades, because you don't want to lose your own capital, the opportunity is there. Right, cool, legends. What else? Like a stream. We'll watch recording. Okay, late to the show. Good evening, boss. Tadas, welcome. Thanks, boss. I'd buy the shit out of that coin if you launched it. Joshua, you'd buy the shit out of that coin, right? Not you guys. Yesterday, this Robert guy is Robert here on the live stream. I'm not sure if Robert is here. Robert started something yesterday with that ice cream. Yes, did I have a good laugh? And I mean, I thought he was being serious, like, Dewald, check out ice cream. I even went to CoinGecko. I laughed at myself after the fact, like, I fell for that. The meme coin ice cream that got launched. Anyways, this is next level knowledge. Don't forget to hit the like. Definitely watching you and Andy at the same time. Did you ever figure out the... Okay, I've gone through those comments already. Right, legends. What else? I see most of the people have jumped off to go and look at Andy's live stream. Can you guys share the Excel template in Discord that you showed us? Excel template? This one. You talking about this one? Not sure if you're talking about this one, but yes, we can share this. It is public information, especially for the legends, right? Yes, we can share that. I'll ask the moderator team or the Discord manager to share it, and I do think it is being shared in screenshots and things like that. But yeah, definitely we can share that. Right, that's the one. Dewald, you guys. Okay. Discord that you showed us. Right. Let's go. Dominance sitting at 60%. Yes. I mean, let's go have a look, a quick squiz here at dominance. There's a chance, legends, there's the chance that this week that we left behind on the weekly time frame could be the local top for now. It could also be the top. There's a chance, okay, that purely from a price action perspective, that is a bearish sign. You can see the resistance over here. So if I'm here on the weekly time frame, look at the resistance. You have resistance, resistance. You have wicked in and you failed to close back above. So that price action, when you go and study candles, the basic, technical analysis, is a bearish sign. It's a sign of exhaustion. So there's a chance that dominance could break down. There's a chance, and we go into altcoin season. Unfortunately, there's always another side to the story, because there's also the top of this range, which is at 70%. Okay, you can see massive resistance. That is the next area of resistance. So if dominance successfully breaks out over here, right, it's most likely going to continue up until it hits this box. It will be very unlikely for it just to roll down and fall, okay, without hitting resistance. That's how the market moves. It finds support at support levels. It turns around when it hits resistance. So if dominance successfully breaks out over here, it will most likely continue until it hits 71% or 72%, this zone, where it has been rejected numerous times over the last couple of years. But there's a chance, okay, just remember, there's a chance that little wick that it left behind is a bearish sign. Also from a timing perspective, looking at the 4-year cycles, which I still did not put in, I need to put it in, okay. We had that 2017 bull market, this little dump, okay. Then we had the 2021, this little dump, and now we are here. Right, so in those 4-year cycles, round about March, but when you go and measure the 4-year cycles over here, we are already due. We are past the 4-year cycle over here, which means that dominance at any point can start falling down, right? And give us nice little altcoin season here to the upside. Nice little altcoin season until it starts hitting major support. There is support. So there's a chance that dominance can crash down here until it starts hitting 40%. Okay. So yeah, interesting on dominance. I'm not sure. Someone here yesterday also asked for someone asked for super analysis, right? Is that person here? If you're not here, I'm not going to go through it. Right. Also, someone asked for Tau. We will bleed more. Oh my God. Yes. But the problem is we're running out of time. Okay. If you look at the timing cycles, okay, so let's go onto this chart that I love to talk about from a timing perspective. We go onto the weekly time frame. Let me show you this, right? You all have seen this because I have spoken about this many times. When you look at where potentially the bull market is going to end, okay, October 2025. For us to still have an altcoin season in this zone somewhere if Bitcoin dominance is still going to continue here to the upside, okay, because everything moves in waves, it takes time, okay, you are already running into June, okay, you could even extend into August. It doesn't give a lot of time for a nice little altcoin season because you are nearing the end of the bull cycle where Bitcoin is potentially going to start turning bearish and fall back to the downside. So from a timing perspective, it would make sense for this potentially to be the high, and it needs to start chopping and lose the trend because we're running out of time. Unless this is a fast move and a fast rejection here to the upside, because time is now starting to count against the altcoin season, especially if Bitcoin dominance is still going to continue to the upside. Okay, it doesn't leave much time unless this time is going to be different. Maybe we're going to have a longer bull market and then we're going to go into a bear market. We don't know, but I mean, so far since the inception of Bitcoin, this model has been respected to the T. And I know I hammer on this point, but every single time everyone said this time is going to be different. This bear market is going to be different. This bear market is going to be different. This bull market is going to be different. This bull market. And now everyone is saying it again. This bull market and this bear market is going to be different. It has not been different. It's just what the data is showing us. So maybe it's, again, not going to be different. Okay. Right, legends. What else? Sir Dewald, what's the theory that 0.88 increases the probability to claim the highs? And that's basically from a backtesting perspective, and it also has to do with Elliott wave theory. Okay, so let me do this. In Elliott wave theory, it states that for impulsive structures, so if you have an impulsive structure to the upside, okay, or you have an impulsive structure to the downside, okay, these retracements has maximum targets of the 786. Okay, 786, 786, or this one actually has a maximum target of the 50%. That one has a maximum target of the 50%. This one has a maximum target of the 786. This one has a maximum target of the 786, 50%. That speaks to impulses to the upside, which means that once you've formed the impulse and you have a corrective, three-wave corrective structure, you will continue the impulse to the upside and go and create 5 waves. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what you want to see. That's bull market. That's, bear markets is the opposite. It goes down impulsively. Okay, so if you have the following, okay, when you have an impulse and it goes back to the 0.88 and then it gets a bounce, when you go and study corrective structures on Bitcoin, B waves, X waves, okay, corrective structures, they have common targets of the 0.88. Okay, where a second wave has a maximum target or a preferred maximum target of the 786. So from a probability perspective, when you tap a 0.88 in Elliott wave theory, it increases the probabilities that it's either a B or a X wave, which means it's a corrective structure, which means that this is most probably a wave, which is a corrective structure. This is a B wave, corrective structure, and whatever wave you get to the upside is a C wave, and then you are going to continue the range. So it's not impulsive to the upside, it's not impulsive to the downside, it goes sideways. Okay. So that's based on Elliott wave theory, and then also from a backtesting perspective. I have backtested the 0.88. I wanted to make sure the 0.88, okay, does get more respected in a trending market to confirm momentum to the upside. So if you have price, okay, price is continuing, price is going to the upside, and you see something like this, it taps the 0.88 over there. When you take a fib from the high to the low, because you are in a trending market, aggressive momentum to the upside, you know that it's, even if it makes a retracement, it's most probably going to take the high again. It does the same thing It's going to take the high again. It does the same thing. It's going to take the high again until the trend stops and you go inside of a range. Okay, now you go sideways. And now you can have multiple 0.88 taps, which increases the probabilities at some point you are going to take the highs. But what I have noticed that when you go in a range and you have multiple 0.88 taps at the top, it doesn't have to take it immediately. That's where it tests your patience. It goes sideways, 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 sideways. And also, if you make 0.88 taps at the bottom as well, and it hasn't claimed the highs and it hasn't claimed the lows, usually what happens is, okay, it claims the lows, it claims the highs, and then the market makes a decision. Okay, we either continue or we're going to continue to the downside. It leaves the range, okay, but especially if you, like what happened during this range. Let me take the scribble here out the way. And I'm not sure if you maybe joined the live stream a little bit late, but I have gone through the scenario, but it's very interesting to note, okay? This is exactly what happened. Yeah. We formed, so the impulse is finished. Look at this. You have a trending market to the upside. You have a range. Then you have a trending market to the upside, and inside of these structures, when you get 0.88 taps to the upside, you know that the momentum is continuing, and then you have a high chance of price taking that high every single time. Okay, you can go and backtest it, reverse the price action, go on to the 15-minute, 1-hour time frame. You'll see exactly what I mean. Take your Excel spreadsheet. When price starts ranging sideways, you had a 0.88 tap, you had a 0.88 tap, you had a 0.88 tap, you had a 0.88 tap. And look at how long the range continued before, and there was no 0.88 taps at the bottom. And this is why I also kept on saying, legends, while you can go and watch the live streams while we were in this range. I said, because of all the 0.88 taps over there, because everyone was calling for the damn bear market. Do you guys remember everyone calling for the bear market when we were here inside of this range? We're going down, we're going down, we're going down. I think everyone was calling for $44,000. What was it? This level over here, this level. Everyone was calling for this level, $39,000, $40,000. We're going into a bear market. We're going to tap $40,000, and then I kept on pointing out the 0.88s over here. We don't have any 0.88s to the bottom because we kept on taking the lows, and then eventually the probability played out. It claimed all the highs, and we rampaged here to the upside. So if your 0.88 retracements are forming at the top, you increase the probability, okay, of continuing in that direction. If all the 0.88 taps formed at the bottom and it kept on making higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, but now you have 0.88 taps over there, you increase the probabilities that you're going to move down. This just happened the other way around. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So when I speak about probabilities from any scenario, from a trend line perspective, from a 0.88 perspective, when I speak about probabilities, it's from a backtesting perspective. So if I go and backtest 100 0.88 taps when I reverse the price action, okay, this is what I do. I go onto the 1-hour time frame. This is how I backtest strategies. No one wants to do it because it's too much work. I click on my reverse button and I just go back, right? I just go back and back and back and back and back. And, it's actually better to do in the daily time frame because then you can reverse way further back, okay? So I go on the daily time frame. You click on your reverse button and you go back however far you want. Then you can go onto the 15-minute time frame, or the 1-hour time frame, whichever floats your boat. If you want to backtest a D-line strategy, if you want to backtest swing failure patterns, and then you press your little play button, and then you go and test out your strategy. You go and test out the Fibonacci levels. And from my backtesting, so if I had to go and backtest 100 0.88 taps, and I can go and write down what are the probabilities. Were we in a trending market? Were we in a ranging market? If we did tap the 0.88 and we did get the opposite move, how many times did that play out where the probability didn't play out? And if you have a scenario where, you know, you have dotted down 75 times out of 100 times when you tap the 0.88, price tends to take that low or that high, then you know that you have probabilities on your side for that specific scenario. Because that's all that trading is at the end of the day. It's a game of probabilities. Okay, so let's pause it. Let's pause it over here. Okay, there's maybe a perfect example playing out here. Did I pause it? Yes, I paused it. So I now want to see over here. So this is now how I backtest it. From the low to the high. Oh, we tapped the 0.88. Now I want to see if this probability is going to play out. Okay, so now I play the price action. I want to now see, okay, we tapped the 0.88. Are we going to claim the low? Let's see. Make this a little bit faster. Okay, this is how I backtest it. It might not claim it, but I'm just saying this is how I backtest it. Okay, you can make it faster, you can make it slower. So now you have a 0.88 tap, which increases the probabilities of coming to take this low. Let's see if it plays out. And this is what I do the whole time. Okay, when I see another 0.88 tap, I go and see what happens. Oh, this is moving way too slow. Let's do it 3 times. There we go. 3 times speed. Ah, then we took the low. There it played out to perfection. Do you guys see? That's how I backtest. You have this. I mean, I just reversed price to any place in the chart. Okay, I didn't even have this prepared, legends. I just reversed it, and there you have a 0.88 tap, which increases the probabilities of taking the low, and we took the low. And then, you know, no one wants to do this. It's too much work. So when I talk about probabilities, this is what I do. Right, so yeah, I can take this now out the way. I don't need this anymore. Okay, cool. Legends, I see that I have very few users here on the live stream. I think everyone went to go and watch Andy's live stream, and now my chart has also disappeared. I'm not sure where my chart is. Oh, here we go. Right, I just want to quickly see here on the local time frame. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Who asked that question? Can't remember who asked the question, but I hope I've answered your question. Okay, that is how I backtest probabilities. So when I say that the 0.88 has a 70% chance, okay, of taking that high or that low, depending on where the 0.88 got tapped, there is still a 30% chance that it doesn't play out. But as traders, we trade probabilities. Because if I'm going to take these trades, I'm most probably going to bleed out my account. If I take these trades, I am going to be wrong 30% of the time, and I'm going to make money 70% of the time. So I would rather want to take these trades. Even if the 0.88 doesn't play out, it still means if I keep on executing that strategy for 70% of the time, I will make money, and for 30% of the time, I will get stopped out. That is how trading works. As simple as that. Right. Thanks. Tada's absolute pleasure. Don't lose that question. Spaceland, they speak directly with Weeks, supposedly. What about Ina? I'm stuck in from very long. Ina, let's go have a look at Ina here for the legend. Ina. It sounds like Ina. Ina USDT. Let's go help the legend out here over here. Oh, I actually do have it. Let's see. Here we go. I have 2 charts. Okay, they both have the same information. Right, so let's go take the scribble out from. I'm not sure, where did you enter? Okay. Did you enter along maybe in the top of this zone? Did you enter along over here and now you're deep underwater? Is that maybe the problem? I'm not sure where your entry is and how to help you out, but okay. Where's the bloody script? Oh, here we go. There's the brush, right? So what I want to see, I'm just taking it nice and easy. 72 cents my entry. 72 cents. Ooh. I'm hoping that it's a spot entry. There's your entry right over there. Okay, I'm hoping it's a spot entry because if it's a leverage position, oh my gosh. Okay, you must be sweating at the moment. right? Because this is already 37% down. So on 2x leverage, you're over 70, 80, almost 80% down. Right, spot. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, looking at the structure, okay, let's just do simple technical analysis. From the low to the high, we are at a zone where you want it to find support. You are currently hitting support, okay? Can you see that you're hitting support? You had a resistance, you failed, resistance, you smashed through. Now you're potentially going to flip this into a RS flip. You're flipping resistance into support. So it would be nice for the 786 level to hold over here, because after an impulse, what you would like to see for a maximum bullish bounce where you could still come and take the highs, you really want to hold the 786 level. So there's a chance that it could still get choppy, but it needs to start moving sideways. That is usually a bullish sign. Okay, it needs to start moving sideways because it's still aggressively moving to the downside. But the good news is that it's starting to hit support over here. That's the good news. It is hitting a maximum target of the 786. Okay, another thing that I want to check out is timing. So if I take time from the start of the impulse to the end of the impulse, how long has the corrective structure taken? Okay, this low was made at least after the 382, but I have seen in many instances that corrective structures love to be longer than the impulse. And I mean, it's also dependent on the type of altcoin, because that's also something that I like to backtest. I go, if I'm planning to trade Solana or I'm planning to trade AR, for example, I will reverse the price action and go and see how long did the impulse take and how long did the corrective structure take. And you will see for that specific altcoin, maybe this is an altcoin that loves to finish in this zone, the corrective structure. Or it could be an altcoin that loves to finish in this zone. Or it could be, I remember there's another altcoin that I backtested. They love to finish over here. They have this nice impulse and then they have the slow grind and they go sideways and then they pump again. Okay, then they pump again. But they have very long corrective structures. I'm not going to go and backtest that now. I mean, there's not enough price action on this token anyways. So there's a chance that the corrective structure could still continue up until 27 March. But what I would like to see is for price to start going sideways. And also what you would like to see, okay, is if I go onto the 8-hour time frame, let's see. Okay, you want to see that trend break, okay? So if you may be still planning to add to the position from a bullish perspective, maybe you believe in the fundamentals of the token and this is maybe why you invested in this token, okay, is that I will only add to my position. If I had this entry, I will only add to my position once it starts going sideways and it breaks the trend. And then it needs to go sideways for longer and it needs to take that high. Okay, so yeah, I will add a little bit, but I'm not going to be aggressive. But once it does that and it takes the high, now you're changing local market structure. It's going to come back for a retest because everything moves in waves. Everything moves in waves, okay? So when there's a pump, don't FOMO into the pump. It's going to come back. There's a pump, it comes back. So when there's a pump, it's going to come back. That's where I'll add to my position aggressively because now you're starting to change market structure. So there's a chance that it could hold this level. I just want to see what it looks like from a log scale perspective. And I mean, from a logarithmic perspective, it still has a lot of breathing room. You're now hitting the 0.618, which is a bullish target. But I mean, looking at the price action, your strongest support, unfortunately, this is a little bit of bad news, okay? Unfortunately, I'm trying to give you the best news that I possibly can over here, but this is unfortunately your strongest support. That's your strongest support that I see from a price action perspective. Okay, so price could potentially still come down if things gets nasty here to the downside to this zone before it gets the bounce. So maybe it still chops, maybe it still chops. Okay, it starts going sideways, you get one more low, and then it turns around. Often, you know, that liquidity grab, it often does that inside of this box. This is where the strongest support is from a logarithmic perspective. Round about 33 cents. So I hope that has helped you out in some way. Right, legends, I have unfortunately run out of time. AR, please, I have done full technical analysis on AR yesterday and nothing has changed since then. So go check out yesterday's live stream. I've done full technical analysis on AR and ENA, AR, Bitcoin. They can all be traded on weeks. Oh man, so we rejected by the 382, currently getting downwards momentum. Just want to see what's happening here on Bitcoin. We're moving down, right? We can like to be moving down. I mean, look at how beautiful we tapped that 0.382. Okay, tap to perfection, got the rejection, swing failure from the highs. And I mean, if you were in that long by the daily level, you have to take profits because now look. Okay, everyone's waiting for that. It doesn't come. You didn't take profits. Now you get stopped out with nothing. Right, not good, not good. Thanks so much for your dedication, consistency, and energy. It's an absolute pleasure. I don't feel like I have a lot of energy yet today, but I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Right, hello, hot please. Thanks a lot. AR please. Like I said, Desmond, I have done full technical analysis on AR yesterday. Go check out yesterday's live stream. I did Elliot wave counts. I discussed $575 targets, believe it or not, $80 targets. I've done full technical analysis on AR and also explained why I'm still bullish on it and why I still have a big bag. Dewald, how Link is doing? Right, I can go and have a look at that tomorrow. I've unfortunately run out of time. I do see that a lot of people are dropping off the live stream. It's not good for the YouTube algorithm. So, legends, thank you so much for joining. Until the next one, cheers for now.